Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and me, Dukect. Hey, how are you doing on this Thursday evening, the last of Black History Month, and all the good stuff here? Anyway, hope you're feeling good, hope you're feeling blessed, and hope that you're doing pretty well in, doing well and everything. I hope that it's doing a lot better than Warner Brothers at this moment, and oh Lord, there are some things that are going on in the world of Warner Brothers. Some good, some bad, and some other stuff here. But first, we got to talk about one of the big things here that Warner Brothers pretty much is just pretty much take down Monolith Productions. Now, Monolith Productions, if you don't know, was an old gaming studio. It was a long, long history of it. But its recent titles were with the Lord of the Rings that were released. I see. I think I have one of them. The uh, Shadow of War and all that type of stuff. Really fun games. But here, they really had the issue of the Wonder Woman game that they just could not get anything. The issues of it. It was a lot of they couldn't really work with the Nemesis system, which they uh they actually I mean, it's just the frustrating part of that whole um that thing is that they couldn't really implement uh the Nemesis system well. And that's going to be the problem of the of this of everything that's going on right now. What is going on with this the whole system I hear. And that's one of the main issues of what's going on with this with the game. And it's a shame because a lot of people, it is a shame that the whole Warner Brothers and such, they never really got Wonder Woman right. They only recently got Wonder Woman into the whole thing. The last movie was not good, and the video games, for the most part, were terrible. I mean, the way that the characterization of the of Wonder Woman were horrible. I mean, Injustice, the way they did Injustice was just so on. They made her the rebound girl to Superman and such, which was just terrible. I mean, just the rebound girl, and then after that, um, well, they did it. They and pretty much killed her off. Uh, you know, in the whole Suicide Squad mess, and now this. Yeah. Oh, what's up? We got racial racism and civil rights. They patent it because game systems aren't meant to be patented. Yes, I hate that. I hate that too. It's that they basically just they hoarded that system, and I wish they could have that whole system should be free for everyone to use. But sadly, that's the rest of gaming nowadays. Gaming has gone from like you had once upon a time video games had like you could like your own type of you know engine and such. Now you have only I think Unity, Unreal, or like Window Red. There's like only three of them, and they just basically that's it. I mean, to me that's worrying to me. And then you have like they couldn't do anything. They have um they basically the video games. It's just like they have really messed. I think one of the only successful video game that came out of that was the Hogwarts Legacy, and that was a single player game. And I know people have their issues with the with Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling, and there was some people like J.K. Lenthal. I think there were people getting on him. I think over at Blue Sky and such, was saying, "How dare he? What's going on with him and trans people and all this stuff." Like J.K. Rowling had that beef with the trans people, everything else. But at the end of the day, Harry Potter is still one of the most relevant stories of our generation. You may hate it, you might do this, you might it's the worst thing ever, but yet it has a connection to it. You might hate Twilight, whatever, but it has connection. There is connection, and you look at the stuff right now. It is one of the top selling kids movies, the DVD, whatever. It's still up there, but also books. It is still one of the highest up there. So, and Hogwarts Legacy proved it. You could have a banning or whatever, but guess what? Still, you still have this. People still went out and bought it. So that's people got mad at that, like, oh, how, and everything else. The main focus is Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, and Batman. Yeah, simple as that's a good point. That's and that is the issue of what Warner Brothers, but those make money. Yep, they make money. They make money, and once that is the case, and if it doesn't, if those things don't make money, I think last Mortal Kombat 1 or whatever made over sold like 5 million copies as of date and everything else. Game of Thrones, when they make that video game, it's gonna sell too. Harry Potter, once again, Batman is Batman. And let me just see. Speaking of all this, let me just see if I can put this here. Speaking of DC, news and everything else, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. There is a lot of things that are going into this whole situation. Um, there's a lot of updates and a lot of stuff that's happened with James Gunn and whatever. Let me just switch this here. This is again the sad thing here. But James Gunn is also talks about here. It's this here. Let me just put this share tab here. What else? It's Supergirl, Batman, and everything else in DCU. I mean, the Authority, Booster Gold, Teen Titans, Peacemaker. All of this from James Gunn and Peter Safran. It has been the only one that came out was Creature Commandos, and while I enjoyed that, there's other stuff here. The big stuff is Superman, Peacemaker 2, and I think Lanterns that's coming up next year. Let's see. Superman is looking to be good. They are deep post-production. They're getting a second trailer. They're doing test screenings. They're looking to be very excited. And looks like Peter Safran's still pumping it up. I wonder what they're going to do because there's a lot of interesting stuff there. I mean, Mr. Terrific looks actually good in that movie instead of his like terrible Arrowverse version of it. I mean, you want to talk about in the wrestling aspect, a recent wrestling aspect, like, they made him into the Wheeler Yuta of that group. Just the guy who basically gets his ass kicked. And even when he looks like he's going to get like a little bit of love, he still gets his ass kicked. Yeah, that type of thing. That's what they made originally when the Arrowverse. Just look at the stuff from Arrow, by the way. Late season Arrow, they treated Mr. Terrific like crap. Just terrible. Oh man, that has been a whole and such. But anyway, here's hoping they do something more because he looks really good, the trailer and everything else. So trailers and everything else. But yeah, next you have Supergirl Women's Tomorrow, which is going to be next summer, is going to be a massive. It looks like it's going to be just this big situation. Jason Momoa's Lobo. It's going to be, and honestly, I like his Aquaman stuff, but yet I think you really did really good Aquaman, but I think Cameron's Lobo is going to be really fun and such. And now we got Batman. This one, they're big money maker, kids. Batman. They wanted Batman to be different from the Batman played as Robert Pattinson. But yet, they're saying that they have made it completely 100% clear Robert Pattinson Batman and their whole crime saga is Elseworlds as of here. And they love him, but they need to do that to introduce a Batman to DCU. It's imperative to show the plans with the brave and the bold. That was their big plan. And besides, if you introduce that, there's a lot of things you got to introduce because Brave and the Bold introduced Damian Wayne, and you look at the Batman, and I know it's a long film, they do nothing to set that up. They have set up nothing to get to the DCU at all. So they're actively in development. They said, I think James Gunn. Let me see if I can find. Um, let's see. Let's see. Teen Titans, Supergirl. Let's see. I'm looking to see what else is there as well. I want to make sure, because again, you don't want to be wrong here. Never want to be wrong. And the Brave and the Bold is having an active, and then Wonder Woman Paradise Lost, which I was so into because I truly believe this is going to be their real big hit. I like Creature Commandos, but I think if they really know what they're doing, I think this is going to be a big hit. But there's been much present movement. They said the show is totally still important. Work is progress, and the pilot is being written now. And the one thing I like about this is that they're not like slapdashing. They're like, when it's done, it's done. And I think that's something when you look at the big Marvel, the MCU, is that they have not done a good job. Ah, yes, there it is. So a jobber, perfect. Oh, but yeah, that was Mr. Terrific and such. Yeah, and it says excited, but yeah, they do have backbone. I want to see what it goes off in the future. But you're looking back here, like I said, let's wait until it's done. Let's wait until things are done, and I think that should be the patience. And I think hopefully people need that. What the next thing is going to be, he wants to do a really big project. He's writing something now, which is good. He is one of those guys who just like he when he gets something interesting and such, he will write and such. He's like another filmmaker, Robert Rodriguez. Like he wants to get the movie done, he get the movie done. He will open up a laptop or whatever and just like it's clickety clack, clickety clack. He just like, you know what I'm saying? He will get to the work. He's like, I got the movie done. Like 2 or 3 months, like damn, I got the movie done. That sort of stuff there. That's what, you get in, get out. No more. Like he will get that stuff done. So he's looking like he has a really good time. I would not be surprised. Showing the Creature Commandos, he loves stuff like the old 60s stuff. So I think Metal Men will be his Fantastic Four. I think that's what's going to be. Metal Man is going to be their next project. I bet that's my personal opinion. That's what's going to be. Gunn and Seffer saying that it's going to be Swamp Thing is exactly. Make it completely unknown. So they're just waiting for him to do it. To finally say, okay, he wants to get his stuff done. Well, Marigold was busy after he went off the done his Makers Auction nominated for him, completely unknown. The dude was completely fine to wait for him because he's like, okay, you got all the stuff done, you got all the press, and you ready to do this film, then you can do it. Swamp Thing's not integral, but he wants to make this film because I think Swamp Thing is like he wants to have their own little, because then, James Gunn wants to make it like what Star Wars, just like these things are connected, tangentially connected, but they all, they are like separate type of like, separate type of like things are happening. And I think that's probably a good way to do a cinematic universe. Not everything is connected to it, but all things are happening. But it's in this universe because the universe is big, and there are stuff that connects to it, and we are connected, but we're not always on the same point. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a really good idea for a Swamp Thing and such. And then we get lanterns because there was going to be an 8 episode thing, and let's see if I can find. Let's see, where's it? Lanterns. Let's see. Let's see. Where is it? I'm gonna see there's I think James Gunn posted a picture. Here it is. All right. Let me just share this tab here. Excited that Lantern is now in productions. DC Studios new show for HBO Max creators Chris Mundy, Damon Lindelof, and Tom King. Oh boy. Oh, there's a lot of people who don't like Tom King. Starring Kyle Sandler and Aaron Pire. And this actually could be really good because it is a grounded type of thing, and it looks like it's going to be a show. If you watched, you know, This what is this? The thing that they really like. See, what's that? Let me see. You know, let's see. Is it True Detective or let's see? Is it True Detective? True Detective. Is that's what the whole thing looks like? Yes, that's why I was right. True Detective. They're going with this True Detective vibe with the lanterns, and I really want to see how that works because I think you can do it. Personally, I don't think lanterns could be that. Is that? Yeah. Oh, that is true. Yeah, but that's Disney. It's like tons of stuff canceled. But yeah, this is the True Detective vibes, and I think the one thing I never liked about True Detective, it was like they build up this mystery. It looks like supernatural, especially last season. It's gonna be supernatural, and then it's just it's just real stuff. And I'm like, I'm always disappointed by that. I want something that if you want to go for the, it feels like it's a bit Scooby Doo ish, if you understand. Like, oh my gosh, it's like real this, and then it's just this real person the whole time. It's not really, I felt like man, it doesn't really hit well. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really hit. It just doesn't hit as much as it should hit. And I think that's one of the main issues of my feelings with True Detective. And honestly, I want this to be good, but I feel like it should be not just lanterns, but I wish there was other. You know what? I really think it would be good if it was a True Detective vibe show. Um, the Question. I feel like that was the person right there. They could do Hub City and him slowly figure things out. And since it is like connected to the DC universe, you can do mystical or you could do reality stuff. You could do either or, and that could be something there. But Lanterns look to be something interesting. It looks like it's going to be really. I hope it's good because they said, let me just look at this here, go back here, that Peter Sanford says the first season so will be 8 episodes, but it could easily be a continuing series. So anthology, I wouldn't mind to say maybe someone else can be around. Maybe it could be more space theme next time with Kyle Rayner and maybe Kellogg or something. Maybe it could be someone like maybe you could do the whole past of like Green Arrow and the whole Daniel O'Neill one with Green Arrow and Green Lantern. That'd be something cool. Then you get to Clayface, which I'm really surprised that they were going to do something with this because I they fell in love with the script with both like Saffron and Gunn loving it. So they said, "Hey, we're going to do something here with this big monster type villain. Bring him into the DCU." And it looks like it's going to be a really good origin story for the Batman villain. And I think you could do that. You could do a horrifying, very scary movie. And I hope maybe this could be, if I was like, this could be a good way to sneak in Batman. I'm just saying that could be a good drop. They can get their own version of Batman, and like who takes him out, who stalks that person, Batman. Batman takes this person down, and you could just have him like that sort of thing, and have him be revealed, and they use like, ooh, the DCU Batman. You getting that hype up, people? Mm. Yes, it will be different lamp and cores. Oh yes, I mean pink, red, orange. I don't know how you could do a whole season, like an 8 to 15 episode season with the orange lanterns. I don't know. Red lanterns, that'd be really nice. Um, let's see, yellow lanterns. Oh gosh, that'd be real cool. A yellow lantern type of thing. That'd be really nice. Let's see, and then you got dynamic duo. Looks to be a 20, in 3 years, which looks to be an animated tale. Two Robins. Looks like it could be something really good. The story will be not set in the DCU, and but then again, it could be. Gunn said this might be a way, he says right here, quote, there might be a way to fit it into DCU. I would love for this puppet animated puppet movie to be part of DCU. That's really appealing to me, but the story is unique and so it might not work within our universe. Who knows? Maybe it can, maybe it can't. But until we start seeing it, this could be something really good. If you look at what Straybox and such were doing with this, you'd be really amazed how the puppetry and CGI looks really good. So this could be a really good dynamic. The two Robins, Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, just being that type of. I think that could be a really good story to tell, and I think that if they did this, I think they can. I can't wait. And also, speaking of stories to tell, Peacemaker season 2. Um, I think that's going to be how Frank Grillo's Rick Flag Sr. is going to be there, and also season 2 of the Creature Commandos. And Sergeant Rock is it looks like he was going to do something with Daniel Craig, but might not be. So it could be someone else, and they look like they're going to shoot some stuff early. I don't know. Some people say the guy who is the bear, the leader. Who's that? Let's see. Let's see. Who's the bear lead actor? Jeremy Allen White. I hear that that could be someone you could do. I mean, who knows? Maybe you could do something with him. That's the rumors I've been hearing, but that's rumors. But yeah, maybe you could be. I think it'll be very interesting to see. So yeah. Let's see what else, ladies and gentlemen. What else did he say? Sergeant Rock, the Authority. Looks like there's been development because shifting overall story, getting it right world with the boys. He wanted a mixture of the boys and in the world, the authority, the influence come out of it. He's like, this could be there. I mean, they have a lot of love for the characters they already filmed. It's a little bit on the back burner. So, and it could be the authority could. I wouldn't be surprised they make this animated. I mean, I wouldn't mind if it was an animated film. I think an animated version of the Authority wouldn't be too terrible. Just make sure you can actually sell it on DVD or whatever. I think at the end of the day. Yeah. Sergeant Rock would be a very interesting DC war comic. I mean, since there was a connection with the Creature Commandos, with was it Creature Commandos, that GI Robot. So I think you could do something with him. And if you can do something with him, I think the best solution would be to have that because they did have Easy Company disappeared. So maybe they disappeared into another dimension or whatever, and they had to fight off and have them return. And well, let's see the reactions and consequences of these guys being out of time. And then again, the Waller. Looks like this had a couple of setbacks with them, but hopefully they get this right. Um, they say this is going pretty good. Booster Gold. I'm gonna say this: if the Miz can't get if the Miz can't get Mike Mazarian can't become Johnny Cage, which was a fumble on that part, you're damn sure they should actually put Booster Gold as Miz because screw it, why not? I think he can play that role perfectly, and I think he's the right age to do it as well. And then you got Blue Beetle. I think this is going to be an animated series in the work, but they could be these exactly not only is an anime series in the works, but it's coming along really well. So I watched a little bit of it. It looks fine. I wish they could have done a little bit more with the Blue Beetle. Part of me wishes that if I was DC, I really wish they would have done more with the JSA because I really think that history of building that up. I hope they will do something with the JSA in the future because having the original Blue Beetle and have that stuff there, legacy heroes, that to me should be more into not slapdash, but also build up into. Then we hit Bane and Deathstrokes, which is just weird. Um, But yeah, without and then quote Safran says, "Well, without confirming that there's even a beta Deathstroke film out there, Orton is writing a big action movie, so they're just waiting for I think it's going to be maybe an Injustice League. That'd be nice. And then Teen Titans. That's going to be. They've been working with Teen Titans of it. That's going to be really. They pretty much I hear that's actually looking really good. So a Teen Titans movie looks like to be in the future. A live action. People have been begging for a Teen Titans film a long while. MJF. Mm, I think MJF's too young. He's too young to play that role. And I mean, he is egotistical to do it, but I think he's way too young to play that role. He's not, and no, and yeah, you're not dissing it, but I think it is. I think he's just too young. I think you need someone who's been through a bit of a ringer to be in that position because I think Miz is like in his 40s. I think he's the right age range to do it. I think, yeah, Miz, I think, MJF, too young, 27, 20. I don't think you have a 28-year-old, being, it's way too young to be someone like a Booster Gold or something. But yeah, that's it. But that's just it. But yeah, so they're going to do something with a Justice League heading somewhere. Maybe some people say maybe this could be the Guns writing a version of the Justice League, which would be interesting. And then last week you had this thing, which was hilarious. I should have talked about this. Zack Snyder and him taking a picture together. Ooh, they're just talking. We're just talking like Zack is a friend and hanging out. And then we're like, let's take a picture of that. We knew full well what we were doing. So no, they ain't doing that. But let's be honest. Oh, there was. You know what? Maybe Snyder, the Authority. Maybe I'm just saying. I'm putting that out there. I'm just putting it out there, people. I'm just gonna put it out there. But yeah, and also there's other shows out there. There's gonna be My Adventures with Green Lantern, which is gonna take place in the same universe with My Adventures with Superman. That looks to be fun. Starfire, and that looks to be really cool. Hopefully, that is going to be more of a DCU type of animated show. And then they're working on. They're also like family shorts with Crypto and DC Superpowers. Which is like DC Superpowers is like for preschoolers, I think. Fine. And then they're already working on with Epic on bringing some of their versions of DC characters into Fortnite, which is okay, fine. Which that sort of stuff. So I think that's always going to be. Um, yeah, some bad news for Monolith, but some good news all around with this good mixture of like frustrating stuff. But overall, I am still pumped up for a lot of these things. Superman looks to be really good. The second trailer, Superwoman tomorrow looks decent. Paradise Lost. Hopefully they'll get that stuff done. Hopefully not demonetized with that picture. But yeah, overall, I am very happy with all these things. I want things to look good, and I want them to actually be in a better situation to DCU looks to be like getting off on the right foot, and I think they will. I think they probably will be on that right foot, and once they do on that right foot, I believe they will be. I think it'll be. I think they're already taking a couple steps ahead from Marvel because no one's really talking about that Brave New World thing anymore. In fact, they're all talking about like is mostly negative type of stuff. Like it's like bad, this, that, the other. It's not really. I think it's really becoming forgettable. And Thunderbolts is. It just seems like it's just. I honestly think they're just putting this up saying if we get some extra cash, that's fine. But the real start is the Fantastic Four. That's it. Like I feel like they just like look. It's just just ignore all of this. The Fantastic Four is there, and we'll just do everything else. And that's what the real thing is. That's why I'm not even going to look at the Brave New World, or I'm not looking at Brave New World. I'm not looking at what else? Thunderbolts or anything else. I mean, the only thing I'm looking for is Daredevil, which looks to be somewhat interesting. But I just think they should be doing something new with the characters that they have right now, and something that really connects with the bigger stories, and actually have a plan in place. and and honestly, I look at Kevin Feige as a person who I think his best stuff is I think he's cooked, and it's sometimes like a like you know what like a coach and like a sports coach who had a like best successful one like for example NFL New England Patriots. Well, all you can say about it, Bill Belichick, got that team playoffs, championships multiple times until they just stopped. They couldn't do it anymore. So they had to part ways. And I think they need to do that with Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige needs to go. And that might piss people off, in my personal opinion, and I could be wrong. But you need people with new ideas. You need people with fresh ideas and someone with a plan to say, okay, we got this whole multiverse thing that people don't care about. I mean, they didn't care about it when they killed off Kang in that this stupid fashion. And quite honestly, even with the whole, Jonathan, all the stuff with that, the issues with that, and there's a lot of issues with there, but the, they should they really messed up the whole. Why did he debut in an Ant-Man film? Not just that, but lose decisively in an Ant-Man movie. Doesn't make any logical sense. So yeah, I think it's just perform a mulligan and start really getting back to the basics. I think they need to get back to doing simple things again. No big bads, no super big stuff. Just do like what the comics did. Just do regular stuff, like smaller scale, smaller things, and then you build up to it and everything else. I think at the end of the day, that will probably be for the best is to build up small and actually get connection with again and be that, let them be neighborhood heroes again. Let them do smaller issues again. No big, Avenger level threats. No more of these like these ratchet up threats. And I think that should be what the future of these shows and cartoons and these superhero shows should be is the connection again. Get them back to their communities and help them out. Like from local local villains to then big villains, and then get back to that, that sort of thing, and personal and communication and with the characters and such, that sort of thing. I mean, that's one thing. If they could crack that code, DC or Marvel, then you have a better way to get people into those theaters and watching those shows and everything else. But that's just my personal opinion. I want to hear what your thoughts about this, comment, all that good stuff. So anyway, that's what I have to say about that. Yeah. The bright circles and arrows. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to take a small break, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a small little break. And when we return, we're going to do a little preview of the WWE Elimination Chamber. Oh boy. There's a lot of things and a lot of situations here. A person's soul is on the toll. Yeah, the soul is on the toll, ladies and gentlemen. Cody Rhodes' soul won't be filled with adrenaline. It might be filled with the Brahma Bulls energy. But we'll talk about that after the break here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for listening and joining me. We'll be right back right after this.